Now to Total Money. Tax day is just a couple of weeks away. If you collected unemployment compensation, do you know how to handle that money on your returns? Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League is here to break it down for us, as she does so well. So Jen, are those unemployment benefits taxable, and what do people need to know?
Well, they are taxable.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think there's a lot of confusion out there because during the pandemic, there was a pause on the taxability of those unemployment insurance benefits that were coming in. And I think people still think that is the case. You know, COVID is still out there. People are suffering from inflation, but it is not. So if you collected unemployment compensation last year, you need to pay taxes on that income that came in.
And so, again, does this mean that they're going to owe the IRS money when they file their taxes?
Not necessarily. So just as you do with your paycheck, you can have taxes withheld. You can do that if you are taking unemployment compensation. So you may have chosen to have taxes withheld, and if that was the case, chances are you won't owe the IRS any money. But you may not have made that decision, in which case you probably will owe the IRS money come tax day. So what I would recommend is take a look at your IRS Form 1099-G. It will say exactly how much you earned in unemployment compensation, if you had any taxes taken out, and how much. And that will really help you ensure that you do your taxes correctly, and more importantly, pay what you owe.
Yes, that's always very important. Nobody likes to be in trouble with the IRS.
No, absolutely not.
It's not fun. Not that I'm speaking from personal experience, but I'm just saying, if you don't pay your taxes, that's you penalties and fees, it all adds up.
Well, that's exactly it. So, you know, my best piece of advice is to always consult with a tax professional. I am not a tax professional. I value my accountant, but I also know that not everyone is in a financial position to be able to hire someone to prepare their taxes for them. Fortunately, in Maine, there are services like Cash Maine that will help those who qualify prepare and file their taxes. So always seek out advice if you are in need. And then, you know, you really need to make sure that if you owe money with the IRS, you pay it, because that money is due on tax day. And let's say you're not ready to file your taxes and you file for an extension. If you owe money, that money is still due, whether you have an extension or not. So that's the big hook there. So if you are one of those Mainers who received unemployment compensation and you owe money, even if you file for an extension, you need to make sure you get that money in come tax day.
I always feel like that's the thing we have to remind people of. I even have to remind myself of that all the time, even though I do so many stories, that you can get an extension, but it's not an extension to pay.
No, they want their money when they say they want their money.
Yeah.
So, but you know, go to the IRS's website. They've got a lot of great resources for taxpayers on there, and you know, just make sure you're doing it upon the deadlines.
All right, Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League. Thank you so much, as always.
Megan.
We don't love talking about tax day, but you definitely make it a little bit easier.
I know. Well, it's coming.
Yes.
We can't avoid it.
Yes, we can't avoid it.